The proof is there. This Gabriella is her name, Melissa's old nose. She's detailing the episodes, the upcoming episodes, even step by step. Teresa planted all of that.
They release descriptions of the episodes like 2 weeks before they even show up. If you go on cable, it will tell you what the first episode is about. I just don't buy it.
But I don't know if she's a villain.
I
Get into
think
a fight
she's
with Teresa.
portrayed as the villain. I think she's
She's
edited and portrayed as
portrayed.
the.
Let's look at Melissa's old nose. Let's look at that account. She does have.
Well, look,
I don't disagree with
we're
that.
not gonna get back on Melissa Old Nose, but with House of Villains though,
Hey, it's a brotherhood! Woohoo!
hey everyone, it's your bro, Mitch Kimbro. I'm here at the Bros of Bro Chat. So, bros, Teresa and Jennifer are being accused of orchestrating, pre-planning that fight that we saw with John Fuda. A Twitter account by the name of Melissa's Old Nose is sharing some detailed information on the alleged plot that Teresa orchestrated to target John Fuda.
Hey, you know what your husband said to my husband? I have tremendous respect for your wife because we both went to jail. I heard he was the biggest drug dealer in Bergen County. Teresa.
We had things on the ready. We had it planned. Gabriella will drop this. Reality Blurb will pick it up. It will circulate here. It will circulate there. What do we see Teresa do in the first episode? She calls him a drug dealer. They made it very clear that they had to specifically touch on the drug dealer because that will damage business.
Regardless, let's say she did, or she was going to bring this up, calculated or whatever. It was going to get brought up anyway. It was in the media. It was being talked about. The producers were going to have them bring it up regardless. So this is another prime example of them trying to make Teresa the villain. I mean, it is tired and it's old at this point. Have y'all not learned when you go against the queen, it's gonna cost you? Get in line and be friends with
Her.
Teresa. Get in line, be friends with her, and you'll have a better time. You'll last on the show longer. I promise you. You girls need to stop.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I want you to find one other housewife they stopped filming for. And they put a whole year break and said, "I'm gonna wait because you got the goods." Because, like Teresa said herself, I got arrested. I went to jail. I gave birth. I've lost all my money. I
My
regained it.
parents.
I got a divorce. I lost both my parents. Name something that she's produced. That's everything that just happened in her life. She shows up to set and people are bothered. They're all looking at Teresa show. As soon as she shows up to set, and everybody on the screen is like, "Oh, look at Teresa's there. Oh my God, it's Teresa."
No.
Why does she got to play anything? This seems like a plant of a plant, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
The proof is there. This Gabriella is her name, Melissa's Old Nose. She's detailing the episodes, the upcoming episodes, even step by step,
But they're edited years before.
even showing us those screenshots of the correspondence with Teresa, how it was all orchestrated to plant the double-sided dildo story, and also the fact that John Fuda was this drug dealer, which he's clarified and says that he's this changed man, which is important to make note of.
They release descriptions of the episodes like 2 weeks before they even show up. If you go on cable, it will tell you what the first episode is about. I just don't buy it. You did sell drugs. You did get arrested for it. And you're coming for my girl Teresa for tax fraud. That's not the same thing, mama. Selling drugs and not paying your taxes are not the same thing.
And if she
One can
did,
kill someone, and one is not giving the United States money.
Teresa planted all of that allegedly, and it's resulted into all of this, a double-sided dildo and some and some Aleve.
The way you're
the
saying
way
that.
you just said that.
Not a leave.
But Victor,
Oh,
Something must have happened. Something's wrong. My brain's not working today. I agree with Mitch. This is very strange. Maybe my brain's not working. But no, I listened to Gabriella, Melissa's old nose, talk with Dana Wilkie on Dana Wilkie's podcast. I understand, Eric, there are episode descriptions, but the episode descriptions are quite basic. They're quite broad. This was an hour long podcast episode she did, going into intimate detail of not only things that happen in this episode, but things that were happening in the whole season. Talking about connections that Teresa has with Reality Blurb. The fact was she was the person who reached out to that woman,
Brittany.
Brittany, who John was dating, and she was the person who got that information.
Well, didn't it also just come out that
Resolved.
they did meet up before the reunion to take down Teresa, and it was
Yep.
confirmed by what's his name, Frank Senior,
It's housewives
and that was
politics. They
six
all do
months
it.
before that, and that was 6 months before that.
Hmm.
Right,
I
but
just think
I think that's different. I do think there's a difference, but these are common. Both watch what happens live. Watch what happens live. You can keep screwing your face, but I'm gonna keep going. Watch what happens live on. Andy and Dolores both agree that this is something that happened that is common. What doesn't happen is people's children don't get called being threatened by someone. What doesn't happen is typically we don't have a whole lot of private investigators in America having files on everyone, especially with the double-sided dildo, since that was found out, and all of that information, that was text messages with Brittany, that was done through Melissa's old nose. She was the one who messaged that account. So
what's the motive?
What's the motive?
What's the motive?
So the motive is on these shows that if something is in the blogs, you talk about them. That's the point of.
What's the motive to expose Teresa? What is the motive for someone who's taking information for Teresa, clearly used it, and now all of a sudden wants to expose her and goes on Dana Wilkins?
Well,
25,000. You were on the show for 2 seconds.
Well, Melissa's old nose, Gabrielle, makes it very clear that what Teresa was allegedly asking her to do, the things that she was asking this Twitter account to do, it was becoming dark. Too dark for Gabriella, Melissa's old nose, to continue with. She could not continue with it any longer. So, she's a fan of the show. She's being approached by a big star of the show, and she was willing. But over time, she had to find her stopping point, and
It
she
sounds like
has.
someone wanted money and they didn't get the money that they wanted, so they're trying to expose someone. That's what it sounds like to me, and it doesn't sit right with me. Something seems sketchy. Every season this happens to Teresa. Someone starts with Teresa like this, by the end, we realize it's probably not that true.
One thing that the bros can agree on is Teresa is without a doubt on the Mount Rushmore of housewives on Bravo. There's no doubt about it. She's
Without a doubt.
one of the greatest. But Rachel is calling out Teresa, saying that she's hustling for a buck, taking this job on House of Villains.
What were your thoughts when Teresa was cast on House of Villains? I was surprised that she would do it, that she would claim the villain title. So what do you think?
Hustling for a buck out here in these streets. You got to do what you got to do.
I'm
Now,
sorry.
Damien, do you agree with Rachel or what? Tell me what's your opinion?
No, I don't agree with I don't agree with anything Rachel Fupa does. I don't agree with that nose job. I don't agree with the way she carries herself on this show. I mean, I could go on for days and days and days. Like, really, for she's trying. I don't think she needs the money because I'm pretty sure she gets paid over $1 million to be on the show. Unlike you, Miss Fupa, 100,000 a season maybe. But I don't understand why she keeps Teresa's name in her mouth. Like, you were obsessed with this woman. You were obsessed with
Mhm.
this woman. You've been watching her for years. Like I said,
You
the
want
fact
your
that she's
checks
gonna
at her.
yeah, and the fact that she's gonna be on House of Villains, let's just be real. You're mad that your only gig is gonna be the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Your claim to fame is gonna be Real Housewives of New Jersey. And it's obvious that people come on this show and use this woman's name for relevancy and to stay and potential longevity. But it's not gonna work. She's not gonna be there long.
Hmm.
Well,
I
Louis
agree.
Louis did allegedly have Rachel's husband John investigated. So Rachel is going to protect her family and she's going to call
But that
out
happened on Married at
Teresa.
Medicine. Married to Medicine, there was what was her name? Lisa. Lisa came out to Married to Medicine. She did background checks on Quad. It's not the first time it's happened, and that was like 10
Yeah.
years ago. I just don't give me an old storyline and try to make it relevant. It's again, you've been watching a little too long. You're trying to make that happen. Miss Rachel, I appreciate you said the thing about her nose job because she got her grandmother to go on that show, and what was the first thing her grandmother said? Oh, the girl with the nose job?
Nose job,
Girl,
Jennifer.
but your granddaughter's sitting there with a nose job, mama. Look at a fool.
Right about a
Nobody
hoodoo.
knows who Rachel Fupa is. Not one person in this world knows who she is. Even the Bravo fandom barely know who she is because she's only been on for 2.3 seconds, and she's trying to come for the queen, calling her irrelevant because it seems like that's the new storyline with her. Because her husband said the same thing. You're a has-been. Teresa's not a has-been. House of Villains just did amazing ratings. It's becoming one of the top shows coming out right now. It's right there with Traitors. It's just the new era of reality TV. For her to be on that show, and she's supposed to be on Traitors too, it's the opposite of has been. She's just as relevant as she's always been, and they're jealous of it. And again, they want to use her name to get famous. Period.
Yep.
Victor, do you think Teresa's a good fit for House of Villains?
I'm excited to see other people. I'm excited to see Kandy Muse. I'm excited to see some of the other cast members. When I think of her in House of Villains, my mind goes to when she was on Celebrity Apprentice, and it was a little bit boring. It was a bit stale. I don't know if Teresa does well outside of her domain. I think New Jersey is where she really excels, but good for her for getting a paycheck. Rachel wishes she could be, you know, let's not shame any job and opportunities. If they called you, I'm sure you would have said yes. But at the same time, let's look at Melissa's old nose. Let's look at that account. She does have voice.
Well, look, the House of Villains piece of it. The House of Villains piece
Well,
of it.
I want to go back quickly.
Well, quickly, very quickly, because
Thank you. I will. So
no, really.
yes. So, when you look at Melissa's old nose, though, you can see text messages, you can see DMs, you can see there have been phone calls. She has all the evidence to corroborate what she's saying. So I don't think the question is whether it happened. I think the question is more so, how normal is this? Is other housewives doing this? Is this kind of standard? And I think that's to be determined.
Well, look, we're not gonna get back on Melissa Old Nose, but with House of Villains though, Teresa is without a doubt an iconic housewife. But I don't know if she's a villain.
She's a 1000% a villain. Everybody hates Teresa. Oh my
Really?
god, everybody comes on that show. Everybody hates Teresa and
I
gets into
think
a fight
she's
with Teresa.
portrayed as the villain. I think she's
She's
edited and portrayed as the
portrayed.
villain, but in real life, I don't think she's a villain. But I can
I
see
agree,
why
but
they're putting her on.
that's what most villains are. But that's most villains, like
Right.
Camilla, who's on there from Bad Girls Club. She's not really a villain, but she was supposed to be the villain of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
Kandy Muse the same way. I think that's where it's coming from in terms of like Jersey. I think she's supposed to be the villain.
Yeah.
Well,
When it's really Melissa.
who would you guys?
1000%.
We're gonna go, but we will be back, and I want to find out what happens with this House of Villains season, this season 2.
I
But everyone
know.
looking in, make sure you like this video, and we will be back. Domestic violence, people might get the impression that he's been physical with her. And from Melody words, that's not true. Melody has been physical with him. She's even thrown glass at him on the show.
Wait.
I think that,
Okay.
well, I do think,
Tom has a response.
no,
Right?
listen, I do think,
Let's talk about the court documents that alleged from Melody's lawyer that he is choking and punching Melody's son. He is threatening revenge porn, naked videos exposing a woman.
Revenge porn, something that cannot be taken away. No, not for a woman, a black woman. You could really affect her source of income because she's not going to be treated the same way as a Paris Hilton.
Let's listen to women. Let's stop making excuses for men. Let's stop.
yeah,
it.
it's an issue. It is an issue to me. It's an
Actually,
issue to me to excuse any type of physical violence.
That's why I beat your ass that time.
Oh no! Oh, Jesus Christ!
And let a man say something like that. Let a man say something like that.
Just because Melody is a woman doesn't mean she's allowed.
the fact that there is violence allegedly towards the children That should be enough to
And
captivate
that's who I feel sorry
the
for, the
internet.
children. Your children are watching. This is going to be public for them to see. You know, they have to go to school. It
Mhm.
really is sad at the end of the day.